Welcome back to another episode of Podcast Demastered, a place where we celebrate our love for all things nerdy. I'm Wade.
And I'm Chelsea.
And on today's episode, we're going to be demastering a Goofy movie.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is the 30th anniversary of a Goofy movie, which is insane to think about, but I'm old, so, it's fine.
Yes. It's crazy. I know, I had to do a double take. I was like, what, 30? And I was like, no, that tracks, yes.
Like, you do the math, you do that math and you're like, that's impossible. It can't be 30 when I'm 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong, 35 years old.
Yep, it's
Wrong.
Crazy. I know, because in the 90s, I'm always like, oh yeah, that was just, not that long ago. No, we're getting further and further
Sure
away from
was,
the 90s.
yeah.
Yep.
So, but I think Chelsea offered this episode up and I was like, okay, because a Goofy movie is one of my favorite Disney movies ever. I mean, there's so much to talk about.
Yes, no, there definitely is. I think it's very much nostalgic for millennials.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very millennial movie, and I think others can still watch it today. There's actually a really funny side note. Literally, somebody was talking about this movie at work like a couple weeks ago, and they were like, hey, guys, have you ever heard of this movie? Like, it's an older movie. This guy was a lot younger. He's like, it's called a Goofy movie. And we were all like, yeah. We grew up watching it. So what are you talking about?
Oh, bless his heart.
Yes. And he wasn't that excited by that movie. And I was like,
aww.
Okay, hold on. Hold up.
Education begins now.
Yes. So listeners, buckle up for our discussion on this.
Yeah, I mean, so it's wild. So like this movie came out, I was 5. I was 5 years old. Scratch that, I was 4. I was almost 5. But by the time it came out on VHS, VHS, you young people, those are gigantic cassette tapes you put in a VHS player and it plays it on film. Yeah, so anyway, I received the VHS for this movie for my 5th birthday.
Oh.
And I loved it. Like the big Disney VHS boxes, right? Like the classics.
Yes.
Yeah.
So classic.
Absolutely. I got that and it was my favorite thing. I watched it every day after I came home from school because I was in kindergarten. And I slept with it underneath my pillow at night even. Like,
aww.
Mostly I think out of fear that my sisters would do something terrible to it.
Mm.
But yeah. This movie and we go way back.
Wow. Yeah. I've been trying to think about how early I watched this movie, but it was definitely one that I watched quite a bit growing up in the 90s. And it's one I remember being also just, it is in so many ways different than like your typical Disney movie in a lot of ways, because we are seeing like one of the core characters being a central part of the story and seeing more depth. And this story is also, because it's a very relatable story. We don't have any magical events happening, no princesses in here, no evil villains. This is
just a real world story of Goofy, of all people.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think works so well. And I think it's good to see like some of these characters we've seen, like they're more than just like the character of themselves.
Right.
Like, it's fun to see that. And there's actually a documentary that Disney Plus recently released about this movie, and I definitely think people should go check it out. It's very fascinating about the process for this movie that was made and how the story came to be. And the director described it as kind of like wanting to make a John Hughes movie or making a contemporary movie about teenagers at that time.
That tracks. I mean, I am, watching it recently for the episode, I was having like big like deja vu moments and like I swear to God my body was physically reacting to like me as a child, and like I was sharing the same feelings from different frames happening from the sounds that were in the movie to all sorts of things. I was just like, this is like, I had to let myself just sink into it and watch and enjoy because I was so fascinated with how I was feeling in the moment of watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. The opening scene, like where Max is having the dream and he's in like the wheat field and Roxanne's up on the pillar. For me as a kid, that was such a dramatic, like cinematic moment. Like how they animated the wheat and Max is like wearing those white clothes and like pushing the wheat out of the way in the wind. And it was so dramatic and like big. It turns into the nightmare where he starts turning into Goofy, becoming his dad, and which is of course terrifying. And he wakes up and he's like, ah! And it's crazy how I remembered feeling how those things brought me right back into that movie.
Yeah. It's really crazy. Yeah. For even just, that nostalgic or like bringing you back to when you watched this movie when you were younger, but also the fact that like how, in a sense, stylized the animation of this, how much was involved. Like, there's a ton of choreography that was involved. And this is like old school animation. This was all hand drawn by people and then like taking like frame by frame, trying to digitize this. And it's incredible. Like, so for those who are not familiar with old school animation, I mean, they still use it today in 3D animation. They have people be models and stuff to do these things. And for this movie, they actually had like choreographers come on to, because there's a lot of dancing. That was also, I don't know why it was weird for me to do this, because it had been such a long time since I had seen this movie. And I was like, I don't know why I forgot this was a musical. Like, I knew there were songs in it, and then it was just like one song after another, and it was just crazy. They're really fun, though. They're catchy.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because talking a little bit more, if we want to talk more about the story, this is a father and son story. This is about Max, the son of Goofy, and about growing up and about kids, being embarrassed by their parents, not thinking they understand each other, and Goofy just wanting to be a good father and just try to bond with his son again. But also not wanting his son to turn into a bad kid.
Juvenile delinquent.
Yes.
Think teenagers.
Oh my gosh. Which I think is like a relatable thing, I think, for adults with kids too, like where Goofy's like talking about like, I don't want my son to turn out to be like a delinquent, to do this and that, and he's talking to another adult, which of course in this movie has to be Pete, which Pete in anything is always he's trouble. He's just like,
yeah, for sure. He's like, he's not like a villain in this. He's Goofy's friend and neighbor.
Yeah,
but he's not the same kind of person that Goofy is, because he's Pete. He's still Pete regardless of where you see Pete anywhere else.
Yeah, and because that he is Pete, he's also portrays a different father figure as well. As being a father, he has very
different relationship with his son. So
yes. And I think that's such an interesting contrast you see throughout the movie. And it's also, I feel like I can reflect on a lot of these things more as being older and just like seeing all these like things and be like, because a lot of times Max is like, oh, PJ, your father is so cool. He lets you do whatever you want. But then if you actually analyze what the relationship is with PJ and his father, it's like, that's not actually the ideal relationship. It's not actually a healthy relationship. It just looks like you can get away with everything, but like,
yeah,
there's more love with Goofy.
Well, and I think that's straight out of the scene where Goofy and Pete are in the hot tub at the hotel after Max has like changed the map to go to the Powerline concert instead, and Pete is like, well, I heard that your kid did this, like he's doing these things behind your back. And Goofy is really struggling to like, but he wouldn't do that, like we love each other. He wouldn't lie to me like that. And Pete's whole thing is like, well, you need to like put your thumb down. You need to keep him in line. You need to be an authoritative figure and not so much like a friend to your son, which is a valid point. That, that's a valid parenting style. But Goofy goes, but you don't understand though. Max loves me. He would never choose to do that. And Pete's like, hey, but my kid respects me. So, and they kind of like have a moment where they're like seeing those differences. I don't want him to love me. I want him to respect me. And it's like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
Which, those are themes that we didn't really understand when we were that young. So
yeah,
maybe we saw the like, oh, Max did a bad thing, and Goofy becomes hurt as a result. But we didn't really understand the full dynamic of those kinds of relationships.
Yeah. And I think that's stuff we see too. I think especially like, I'm pretty sure as a kid being like, oh, well, PJ's like dad has this cool, like decked out RV. They have all kinds of cool stuff. And Goofy and Max are just driving in a car with a tent. Like that's not also a fun way. Like that's not
how
cool.
Does Pete have all that money when they work at the same job?
I know. I guess somehow being that boss potentially, I guess just that's where all the money goes, I guess.
I mean, also like Goofy has such a 90s job.
Yes.
like a department store photographer for like children. What a 90s job. I was just like, that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It also brought me back as a kid going to get my pictures taken.
Absolutely.
And the dramatic things, the outfits you had to wear, the poses. I remember the crazy backdrops. And yeah, I just was like, yep, I can see as Goofy just trying to be like, get the kid to smile. Come on. Don't move from the spot. Do not run around the store.
I always love that little girl that Pete's trying to get pictures from. And he has to like put Velcro on her diaper. Yes. That always like, it is so funny because that moment too is one of those things where like I can map out every single word he's saying to Goofy, the sounds that he's making with the little girl, like he tries to get her like situated. All of those things are like a part of my soul, and it's just so funny how those things like stick with you after all this time.
Oh my gosh. Yes. But kind of going back to like the story that we've kind of hinted at, if those aren't familiar, definitely go watch the movie. But yes, so Max gets into trouble at school. Trouble, it's depends on who defines it as trouble.
Yeah. Last day of school, he takes over the assembly from the principal to, do this little like Michael Jackson-esque improv, lip syncing rock concert.
To the coolest rock star around, yes.
Oh yeah, everybody's obsessed with Powerline. I know I am.
Yeah, I mean, amazing songs, yes. Then he gets into trouble because he did that, and his dad is just like, okay, well, I'm afraid, yes, of you turning out to be a bad kid. We need to spend time together. We're going to do what my father did for me. We're going to take a road trip, and we're going to go fishing. Yay, says Max.
Across the whole country. Holy cow.
It's just crazy. That was just a wild trip.
To go fishing. Like, you literally go fishing at one point, like, on the road, on this way to this other fishing spot. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, but you have to get to the fishing spot because that is where Goofy's dad took him. Yes, took him.
Dramatic.
Yes. And then, because Max does not want to do this, he begrudgingly does it, but then finds out, yes, oh, wait, Powerline is holding a concert very close to where the fishing is taking place. I'm going to tell everybody I'm going to be there, and I'm going to do the cool thing and impress my girl. And you get to see this father-son struggle the entire trip, going to so many quirky places, which I think we can break down some of these places and what they are similar to in real life.
Yes. And it's like, I like the very first stop they make is at the like the theme park-ish kind of place.
The Lester's Possum Park.
Yeah, Lester's Possum Park. Absolutely. And except everything is awful and breaking down and just like crying children because they're terrified of the broken animatronics.
Yeah, it's definitely Country Bears.
It's definitely Country Bears.
Oh my gosh. Which Country Bears has gotten a little bit better. They did revamp it and they have better music, but is 100% that vibe and like, you will enjoy the show, children. You will wear the possum hat. Just
absolutely just traumatize everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Because I guess like Goofy used to take Max there when he was a little kid, but
yeah, and it's just holding on to those memories and being like, you love it now, and Max is like, that's not cool anymore.
But it's Goofy, so Goofy has a good time doing everything.
Yes.
All the time. Not Max.
Yes. No, not Max.
Too cool. Too cool.
No, Max is too cool for everything. They also drive past a place at one point called Carl's Butt Caverns, which I was like, oh my gosh, that's definitely a nod to Carlsbad Caverns National Park, which is honestly one of like my top favorite national parks. It's an amazing cave. Totally worth a chance to see, but it's fun to see how they like interpret some of these like landmarks and stuff, because it is a cross-country road trip and just the typical style of what to expect. Little diners along the way, quirky attractions, and then of course fishing spots or camping spots for the night, because you gotta camp when you're on your trip.
Naturally,
I don't know, is there a thing like a Bigfoot you might see?
I love and it's plot worthy too, because Goofy's teaching Max the family secret to like casting the fishing pole, which is his ridiculous ridiculous thing. What's it called? The perfect cast. He teaches Max the perfect cast, and then in the process, like snags Pete's steak off his plate, and then casts it off, but then Bigfoot finds the steak. So Goofy naturally reels in Bigfoot.
Yes, and so antics ensue with that.
Antics ensue.
And then, of course, like, Goofy has his, like, video camera, and he's like, oh, hi, Bigfoot, how are you? And you're like, oh my gosh, this is actually cool. Like, Max is like, we're getting footage of Bigfoot. And then, of course, the footage gets destroyed.
Destroyed, of course.
So there is no evidence. Nobody will believe them.
Goofy's the only person who's like, wow, it's Bigfoot. And, like, Pete immediately is like, oh my god, we're gonna die. And he leaves.
And Max
packs up immediately. And Max is like, oh god, we're gonna die. It's Bigfoot. Not like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Goofy.
Yeah. But then this causes them to be stuck in their car that they can't move. Bigfoot is all around them on top of their car, falls asleep, and you have this moment where, once again, like, Max and Goofy are forced to spend time together to see what food is left in the car to spend the night, and, like, they have this cute little moment because it's just been constant bickering between them. Because Max is just like, you're taking me on this stupid trip, I don't understand, and Goofy's just like, why aren't you having fun? This is, like, for us, it's a bonding experience. But I really thought it was this really sweet moment with the can of soup. And they talk
Hi, Dad Soup.
Hi, Soup, yes.
Hi, Dad Soup.
Yes, and you see a little moment where they reconnect for the time.
And so everybody's sleeping except for Max because everybody's snoring. But he takes the map out because this is before, like, MapQuest and all that stuff. Where Goofy has, like, their trek across the U.S. He has it, like, penciled in. Like, which route to take, and Max changes the map's directions to get to Los Angeles instead of the lake. So Goofy then, of course, is just following the new directions because, you know.
Yeah, because he also is like, I trust you, Max. I want to put you in charge of the map. And you see the guilt with that, but also he just wants his cool moment. And
But he's a good kid, you know. He goes through a big guilty thing, and
yeah,
you know, he doesn't know what he's gonna do when they get there, you know. But for him, I guess that's just a problem for another day.
Yeah, but it's just a really sweet story in so many ways of just seeing, like, that father-son relationship and how that is just relatable in general of just growing up and having parents who are just like, just, you know, not always good getting along with your parents growing up. And then, yes, at the end of this movie, they do make it to the concert. They crash that concert.
They sure do. I was funny. Like, they just get brought in instrument cases. I was like, yeah, that seems right. That seems correct for Goofy. Of course, watching it now, I'm like, why are instruments being delivered during, like, the opening act of this concert? Like, that seems a little late, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But you know, like, you get, like, the drama in the middle when Goofy, you know, he finds out, and he still lets Max choose, though, like, which way he's gonna go, and Max chooses the concert. Goofy's upset. They, you know, it's fine. They fall into the river in a car, you know, no big deal.
Yeah. As
they're arguing, cute songs, you know, as they make up. But then, like, the scene with the waterfall, where Max has to, like, save Goofy, that was, I didn't realize how, like, terrifying that was, like, how dramatic that was written. Like, Goofy is falling to his actual death in a waterfall. It's like, whoa, that was legit. That was a real thing that happened, not just, like, some cutesy cartoon thing. They, like, legit did it. And, like, oh wow, there's a lot of tension in those scenes.
Yeah, that's what's also so crazy about this movie too, because, like, it is called a Goofy movie, that Goofy is one of the main characters, and Goofy is typically seen as, like, kind of a joke character, does, like, silly things. Like, we get that here and there, but then yes, we get some really serious moving moments, or very serious, yes, almost dying moments in a movie like this. And you're like, wow, what am I watching again?
But you know, they all make up, and
yes,
Max tells Goofy about fully, like, what he did and why he did it, and Goofy, just because he's a good dad, is like, okay, let's go to the concert, let's do this thing then. Like, the purpose of the trip was fulfilled because they bonded, they got back together, and like, okay, let's go do your thing, let's get you the girl now. Which is just, isn't that just the best part of the movie?
That's very sweet and supportive, yes.
Like they get to the concert, and it's just this big thing, and they end up on stage and on national TV, no big deal.
They are not escorted off the stage. Yeah.
They are not escorted off the stage and like probably murdered in the alleyway. Like, not a big deal. But I always thought this like the best ending to a movie ever. Like having the concert and all the kids back at home watching the thing. And I forgot, oh my God, the lady, like he has his backup singers, right? Like the two ladies. But then he's got like, there's that big lady like up on the thing with the rings, just like belting stuff out. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I love her.
Yeah, no, the ending is such a good ending for the characters, but also for like the viewers as well, because you get this like happy ending, but also like an explosive like free concert. It is, they go all out on this last number. It is crazy. It is shot like a music video in a sense. We see our characters being in this. It's eye to eye. It's an iconic song.
It's such an iconic song, and it's so funny because the kids, you know, they don't really get this movie. They don't see it, so they don't get the music.
Yeah.
But I was watching the Powerline performances, and I got the, like, they created Powerline, I felt like, by combining Michael Jackson and Prince.
Yes.
Like,
that was their intention, 100%, yes.
Oh my gosh, like legit, yes. Like officially?
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay. I was thinking like headcanon. Like that's what I was noticing. Like, wow, this is really big this and this. That's crazy. I nailed it. Boom. I'm so good at my job.
Yes. But yeah, it's because I mean, those were big singers around that time as well.
Oh, like, God, they were. Yeah.
So then we get to see it in animated form too. It's wild because even I think one of the facts too is like how the song Eye to Eye is spelled is kind of like similar to or references how some of Prince's songs are as well.
Yeah, well, very 90s, you know, like
yes.
Eye to eye, like you're looking eye to eye, but it's capital I, number 2, capital I. It's like, okay.
Yes.
That's which is like, good Lord, that was all over the place.
Yeah, but the song in general is just like the perfect song to wrap up like the movie itself, but also just an amazing catchy song as well, because all the songs fit so well in the movie to fit the different moods, the different things that are going on, and then to come to this explosive ending.
Yeah. And you know, I like how they use, like, they have the soundtrack music, like the music they wrote for the movie, but it also uses some song, like some real world music on top of that. Like within the world of a Goofy movie, and that's like, that's a good mixture. You could have just written your own song, but like pop culture references, which there's quite a few in a Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like just complete throwbacks to Disney in general, but sometimes it's actual real world references, and that's hilarious, I thought.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, there are very specific Disney references as well, or almost like hidden characters that you'll see at different points.
I always loved seeing Mickey and Donald on the side of the highway. Like it's like a 12-lane highway, and Mickey and Donald are just on the side of it, like what are you all doing out here? Like, this doesn't seem
safe. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so funny.
And can we talk about, like, we have like the voice cast, and it like all the characters are the people you expect them to be, like, you know.
Yeah.
Except Pauly Shore's in this movie. Did you know that is uncredited?
Really?
He is not credited to playing that character, but it's so obviously him. Because he's literally playing himself, you know?
Yeah.
Now, he's in the second one, too, an extremely goofy movie, but I bet he's probably credited at that point. But that's wild.
Yeah. Huh. I was going to say, yeah, because we didn't talk about other certain parts of this movie, because I want to talk about the canned cheese.
Cheese whiz!
Yes.
Cheddar! Awoo!
Cheddar. The Leaning Tower of Cheese.
That's like a vocal stem right there, like...
Oh my gosh. Which I always thought that looked incredible, but like realistically, I don't think I can ever do that. Eat that.
As an adult, I could see that and go, ew. As a kid, I was always like, wow, that's a lot of, like, that's really neat. How'd he do that?
Yeah, I was like, I want that. I love cheese. And I was like, well, that's actually different. So not quite the same as what I want it to be.
Probably die at this point if I ate that.
Yeah. I was like, I could do that now as an adult. I can go get some from the store right now. But realistically, I just seen it in person. I'd be like, I can't do it. I can't eat this.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
But yeah, that was always just so crazy and iconic. It's one of those silly things like character has like on them all the time. Always some type of snack. Oh, another thing I was going to mention was that I feel like I have heard Eye to Eye a lot more recently, not just because it's like the 30th anniversary, but also Disney released last year a like special like album called A Whole New Sound where they got some
oh my gosh, yes,
the
it's like it's like 90s bands, 90s early 2000s bands, and they got to like cover Disney songs, but like in the style that they're known for. No, that album, I'm shocked we haven't like brought this up before.
I know.
That album is amazing. Like as a millennial child, that album is everything. And yes, that Eye to Eye and that is also amazing.
So good. Yes. I was just listening to that album the other day. I love that album. I listen to it quite often. It's crazy. But yeah, I was so excited when that came out, and I'm like, where's volume 2, Disney? I need it.
You all could just keep doing that. You just keep putting those out. That's fine. I love the album artwork for that.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, I love how they included that song on there as well. It's a crazy variety of songs, and then with amazing artists. We have like Simple Plan, Yellow Card, Plain White Tees, Bowling for Soup. It's everything for the millennials.
It's great. That album was they should have done that at the time.
Yeah. But at least we got it now finally. So I'm just holding out for a volume 2. But yeah, I mean, I think I appreciate a Goofy movie more going back to it, just like also because it just made me think a lot about my dad. I love my dad very much. He is
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. We do sometimes refer to him as Goofy. I know he listens to this episode, but like it is really meant as an endearing quality. My dad is such a sweet, wonderful guy who just cares about me and my siblings. And so
isn't that who Goofy is at the end of the day?
Yes.
Like, there's so many things that Max becomes embarrassed about and things like that as far as Goofy does, but he also truly loves his dad. And he sees everything that Goofy is. Embarrassing stuff included, but like you take away that stuff and like anybody should aspire to be like Goofy. And having gotten to meet your dad, I can definitely see that in him too.
Yeah. So episode, shout out to my dad.
Absolutely. Seconded.
Yes. Okay. We'll end on that. I love you, Dad.
And that's it for another episode of Podcast Demastered.
If you enjoyed hanging out with us today, don't forget to follow and subscribe, leave us a review, and tell a friend.
If you have an episode idea, send us an email at demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook at Pod Demastered.
Thanks for listening, and tune in for the next time we demaster our favorite things on Podcast Demastered.